With Megas coming back in Pokemon Legends ZA, I decided to do a Hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Omega Ruby just to see how cool Megas really are. On top of Hardcore Nuzlocke rules, I also decided to only allow myself to use Psychic type Pokemon. Why Psychic types, you might be thinking? Well, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Gardevoir, and not one of those kinds of fans. But also I think Psychic type Pokemon have the coolest Megas in this game. We won't be using all of them, but the ones that we do use are still super cool. The rules for this run will be found in the description, but to go over them briefly, I can only catch the first Psychic type Pokemon seen on each route. If a Pokemon faints, it is gone forever. No items are allowed in battle. Held items are excluded. I cannot level up a Pokemon past the highest level Pokemon the next gym leader has. And finally, I must play on set mode. In Pokemon Omega Ruby, there are a grand total of 15 evolution lines that are Psychic type. However, excluding legendaries and route limitations, there are only 9 eligible encounters. With all that out of the way, let's find out if Mega Evolution is really all that it is chalked up to be. Our story begins right off the moving truck. I love how machoke are the movers in this game. It's the small things like this that make the world building in Pokemon games so much fun. On Route 101, we find Professor Birch getting chased around by a Poochyena. I don't know why he's afraid of this little dog, but whatever. So unfortunately, we have to pick one of these 3 chumps so that we can help him out. I picked Trico because I think he's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But this guy isn't our real starter. It isn't until Route 102 that we find our actual starter, Goku the Ralts. Quite possibly one of the strongest Pokemon in this entire game. While being frail defensively, this Pokemon packs a huge punch in the special attack department. On our way to Petalburg, we stop with May and watch the butterflies for a little bit. As cute as this is, I'm not really sure why in Generation 6 as a whole, Game Freak just started going down the romantic route. But hey, I ain't hating. Anyways, we end up in Petalburg, and our deadbeat dad sends us to help Wally copy us. Like, why did bro have to bite us and just catch his own Ralts? That's so lame. By the way, I love Wally, he's pretty cool. On our way to Rustboro, this scientist guy just gets attacked in the middle of Petalburg Woods. Of course, the good Samaritan I am, Goku and I destroy this stupid Team Magma member and we save the scientist. From here, it's on to Rustboro to face Roxanne and her rock types. Goku being so frail makes this fight a little hard, but hopefully we have some luck on our side and we can win this battle. Roxanne leads with Geodude, and I just send out Goku. Goku goes for a confusion while Geodude just lands a strong rock tomb. A held Oranberry means Goku is able to get back to near full HP. Next is Nose Pass. She lands a tackle which brings Goku down by 9 HP. This means he can survive another one only if Nose Pass doesn't click Rock Tomb. A low roll confusion means a little bit of damage. But next turn, the AI does something really stupid and clicks Harden. And of course, we punish such a stupid option with a critical hit confusion to take down Nose Pass in one hit. A lucky battle, but hey, I'm the best. From here, we gotta save Pico from Rust Earth Tunnel from the Team Magma members. After another good deed, we're able to give Pico back to his owner, and he takes us to Dewford Town. Here in Granite Cave, we're able to catch our second team member, Tien the Abra. And with the level cap, he's also able to immediately evolve into a Kadabra. This makes the Brawly fight embarrassingly easy. It just takes 1 confusion, and then 2 confusions to win the battle. After this, we head back to Granite Cave to speak to Steven about some wall painting that I don't think really anyone should care about. And then it's off to Slateport, where once again Team Magma is messing with some people, so we gotta stop them. And it's here where we meet the big bad Maxi. His design is really cool, but his motivations and overall goals are just really stupid. On our way to Mauville, Goku evolves into a Kirlia, and at the same time Tien becomes an Alakazam, but I don't have footage. And now it's time to face Watson, who is kinda scary. His Magnemite and Magneton are both kind of walls for my only 2 psychic types, but I have a plan that hopefully goes right. Watson leads with his Magnemite while I lead with Tien. To start, Tien lands a Charge Beam that fortunately gives us a special attack boost. Without this boost, we could have been toast. Magnemite just goes for a Thunder Wave, but a held Cherry Berry removes the paralysis. From here, a Side Beam from Tien takes down the Magnemite, and then next comes Voltorb. To make the fight a little easier, I go for another Charge Beam, but don't get the special attack boost while Voltorb just goes for a charge. A Side Beam takes out Voltorb next turn, and out comes Magneton. Here's where things could get a little tricky. Tien lands a strong Side Beam that crits and brings Magneton down to 1 HP, but Magneton lands a Supersonic confusing Tien. Next turn, Magneton heals, and of course Tien hits himself. Next turn, Tien fortunately lands a Side Beam, which deals a little more than half HP. Magneton just goes for a Volt Switch that Tien was safe from even if it crit. Next turn I risk the confusion, but Tien just snaps out anyways and lands a Side Beam to take down Magneton. And with that, we defeat the third gym. From here, it's off to Meteor Falls to stop Tabitha from harassing another scientist. He's my goat and all, but unfortunately me and May have to stop him, so we do and save the scientist. But also right here in Meteor Falls, we're able to find a Soul Rock, who is a very important member of our team, being one of the only physical attackers we'll get. From here it's off to Mount Chimney, where once again we face Team Magma, and also we battle Maxie for the first time. Maxie leads with Mightyena while I lead with Goku. They trade intimidates due to Goku having the ability to copy the enemy's ability. It just takes 2 Draining Kisses to take down Mightyena. Next comes in Soul Rock, and I swap out to Krillin the Soul Rock. Yeah, I forgot to mention his name is Krillin. I go for a Cosmic Power to try and stay healthy and tanky, while Camerupt just sets up an Amnesia. 2 Bulldozers do huge damage, but then Krillin gets burned by a Lava Plume. This brings the fight dangerously close, but fortunately Krillin pulls through. Lastly is Golbat, and a switch out to Tien, and then a Side Beam means Golbat goes down in 1 hit. This means we defeat Maxie at Mount Chimney, but it actually just does nothing to his plans. On our way down from Mount Chimney, we catch a Spoink in Jagged Pass. We name him Oolong, and he's a really cute little piggy, but his Pokedex entry is morbid. If it stops bouncing, its heart will stop. Poor little guy is doomed to a life of permanently bouncing up and down lest he want to die. When we arrive in Lava Ridge Town, we get an egg, but this thing takes way too long to hatch, and I don't really care about waiting, so we'll find out if we get to use it later on. And now it's time to face Flannery, who is mighty fine, must I say. I love all the redesigns and just general art direction this game went with. One of the best looking Pokemon games in my opinion. Anyways, enough yapping. Flannery leads with Slugma, while I lead with Krillin. A single Rock Slide is all it takes to take down Slugma, and out comes Numel. I click Cosmic Power, so once again I can try and stay healthy and tanky for the rest of the fight. Numel just goes for a Sunny Day, and next turn I click another Cosmic Power while Numel just goes for Lava Plume. I get punished and burned, but a held Rossberry is able to remove the burn and we're fine. Next turn a single Bulldoze takes down Numel, and lastly out comes Torkoal. I have Krillin go for Bulldoze just to get a little bit of chip damage in, while Torkoal just goes for Curse. Next turn I click Rock Slide, but Krillin just misses because this game hates me. After that Torkoal just goes for Curse. Next turn a Rock Slide actually lands and does a decent bit of damage, while Torkoal just goes for an Overheat. This does like no damage and we're pretty safe. Another Rock Slide connects and it looks like it low rolls, meaning that Torkoal lives. Torkoal just flinches, and next turn he heals to full HP from a Hyper Potion. Another Rock Slide misses, meaning it's 2 for 4, probably the fakest 90% of my entire life. A third Rock Slide misses it, making it 2 for 5, and then a 4th Rock Slide misses. Someone must think my anger is really funny because I am getting really annoyed at this point. Finally, another Rock Slide lands, which does like no damage because of the curses that have been set up, and then Torkoal lands a Body Slam, which of course paralyzes Krillin. Next turn though, Krillin finally locks in and lands a critical hit Rock Slide to bring Torkoal down to 1 HP. From there, it's one final 100% accurate Bulldoze to end the battle and win us the Heat Badge. From here, it's back to Petalburg City, but not before picking up a new encounter. On Route 111, we catch a Baltoy whose name is Chaozu. We also get a pretty big upgrade in the form of Goku becoming a Gardevoir. And lastly, once in Petalburg, our egg hatches into Wynot. His name is King Kai, and he'll be very useful in this upcoming gym. Speaking of which, it's time to face Norman and his normal types. He leads with his first Slaking, while I just lead with King Kai. Turn 1, he clicks Yawn, while I just click Counter. The next turn, Truant activates, and King Kai falls asleep, but due to a held Chesto Berry, he wakes up right away. The next turn, Slaking uses Feint Attack, and then King Kai retaliates with a counter to take down the first Slaking. On the oncoming Vigoroth, I switch out to Krillin expecting to retaliate, but he ended up just clicking Encore. From here, I switch out to Goku, who takes minimal damage from a Feint Attack. I set up one Calm Mind boost while Vigoroth goes for a Retaliate that wouldn't have killed even if it was a crit. On the next turn I predict an Encore, so I click Draining Kiss just in case. This heals me to full HP while Vigoroth does go for Encore. The next turn I take him out and in comes Slaking. Draining Kiss leaves Slaking right above half HP, and then Slaking crits, doing a very scary amount of damage. On the Truant turn I click Calm Mind, and then a Psychic takes him down next turn. And with that we beat our deadbeat dad and defeat the 5th gym. With the new level cap we're able to end Oolong's eternal suffering as he evolves into a Grumpig, and then Steven invites me to a private island all to ourselves, ooh. But as we move forward we see Latios, who personally I think is intruding on our privacy. And it's not just him, as 2 Team Magma members show up uninvited behind us. Steven and I clean these goons up, and I guess says I take the Latios. I nickname him Cool Guy because I guess he's kinda cool, but I'm not going to use him. But because of all of this, our little date was ruined. But as a compensation gift, Steven gives me the best gift you could give anybody, a Mega Bracelet. With that, our little date is saved and it's on to the next story. On my way to Fortree City, I have to stop as the Weather Institute is being attacked by Team Magma again. Unfortunately, I have to beat up my goat Tabitha again as I try to convince him to change from these evil ways and join the good side. But whatever, we saved the Weather Institute and it's time to head out. On the bridge to Fortree City, we battle our rival Mei once again. After one calm mind by Goku, her entire team kinda just gets swept. From here, we enter my favorite city in this game. Fortree City just has the best music. I mean, just listen. In order to challenge the Fortree City gym, we first have to go meet Steven and get ourselves a Devon scope. But before challenging the gym, we have to beat up a wild Kecleon. This is for no real reason either, I just felt like beating it up. And now, it's time to face Winona and her flying types. Here's where we also see the true power of Mega Evolution. Winona leads with Swellow, while I lead with Tien. Tien Mega evolves, turning to very skinny Alakazam, and misses a Charge Beam, and Swellow just goes for a double team. On the next turn, Tien lands the Charge Beam and also gets a special attack boost. Next comes an Altaria. She gets let flow by a Psybeam. An Earthquake does a small chunk of damage, and next turn, a Psybeam knocks out Altaria. Out comes Skarmory next, and a Charge Beam is enough to take it down. Lastly is Pelipper, who tries to stall with a Protect, but then goes down the next turn to another Charge Beam. And with that, we earn the Feather Badge from Winona. With a new level cap, Chaozu is able to evolve into a Clay Doll. And after that, it's off to Mount Pyre to try and stop Team Magma once again. Once here, we have to face off against Courtney, who, might I say, she may be able to ruin my life. But real quickly, I clean her up and we save Mount Pyre. Also while here, I catch a Meditite named Vegeta, but I didn't record it like an idiot. From here, it's off to Lily Cove, which I forgot that the rival battles you here. But anyways, the bros and I clean her up and she's gone. Right after this, Vegeta evolves into a Medicham, who I'd like to add also has a pretty cool Mega. From here, we head back to Slateport just in time to see Maxie and my goat Tabitha steal a submarine. After beating two Magma goons, losers, I head to the Team Magma hideout and do... oh man, not more teleport puzzles. Finally, we get past that. And once again, it's another showdown with my future wife, Courtney. I clean her up really quickly, and for some reason, it's just time to ignore Team Magma for a little bit, as it is time to face Tate and Liza. And to be real for 1 second, I know using Megas in this challenge is kind of like a cop-out, but like, bro, why are these gym leaders such a joke? Like, seriously, just a Solrock and Lunatone? It unironically took me longer to finish this bit than it did to finish this battle. Anyways, a couple Shadow Balls later, and they are done for. After this, a beam shoots out from the sky inside of a cavern, which interrupts Steven again as he invites me into his home for a date, but unfortunately we have to go save the world. But real quickly, I take a little stop at Lily Cove and catch myself a Staryu. Their name is Popo. Popo immediately evolves into a Starmie, and now it's time to go save the world. From where the beam came from, I find Maxie and Archie. Yada yada yada, he's trying to revive Groudon or something, so I'm just gonna teach him a lesson in a good old Pokemon battle. He leads with Mightyena while I lead with Goku. Goku just one-shots with a Draining Kiss, and out comes Weezing. He goes down to a single Psychic, and out comes Crobat. He also goes down to a single Psychic, and last comes Camerupt. I switch out to Popo while Camerupt just Mega Evolves and goes for a yawn. However, Popo doesn't even have time to fall asleep as they one-shot Camerupt with a single Surf. And with that, we save the world. Is what I would say if Maxie was like any other final boss, but instead of giving up, he stands on business and revives Groudon. So Groudon just threatens the end of the world and starts walking towards Utopia City. And it is here that my goat Tabitha realizes his wrong ways and joins the side of good. And while I'm very happy for him, I've gotta go save the world again. So, in the Cave of Origin, I ride on Groudon's back until we get to some glowing crystals, and he turns into Primal Groudon. I whoop his cheeks so bad that he just disappears forever. And with that, I save the world. Everyone just gives me some congratulatory hugs and kisses, including my secret lover Steven, and that's that. Really quickly, I head back to Verdanturf Town to get a Gardevoirite from Wendy. This basically spells the end for literally every NPC trainer left alive. And we start with Wallace. He leads with a stupid little love disc, while I lead Goku. One Mega Evolve and Charge Beam later, with a special attack boost by the way, and the rest of Wallace's team just gets one shot. With that, the 8th gym badge is obtained, and it's time to head to the Pokemon League and battle the Elite Four. But before that, on Victory Road, Wally stops me for a quick little battle with him. I really like his development in this game as he becomes a really strong independent trainer. But anyways, on to the battle. He leads with Altaria while I lead with Goku. A Mega Evolution into Draining Kiss takes down Altaria in one single hit, and out comes Magneton. Magneton. A Shadow Ball leaves Magneton at 1 HP, while Magneton just goes for a Screech. Another Shadow Ball takes down Magneton, and out comes Roselia. Roselia goes down to 1 Psychic, and out comes Delcatty. Another Psychic takes down Delcatty in 1 hit, and last is Gallade. A Shadow Ball leaves Gallade at very low HP, and if you guys remember that Screech, well, a Slash leaves Gardevoir on 6 HP, and would have killed if it crit, but we're never punished, and one more Shadow Ball takes down Gallade and wins us the battle. And with that, we arrive at the Pokemon League, and with one last look at our team for the Elite Four, all leveled up to level 55 to match Drake Salamence, we head into the Elite Four with our head strong. First up is Chimney and his dark types. He leads with Mightyena, while I lead with Goku. Mightyena gets hit by a Draining Kiss, which makes him go down in 1 hit. Next up is Sharpedo, and after a Mega Evolution, a Draining Kiss takes him out, also in 1 hit. Next is Shiftry. He lands a Fake Out, which makes Goku flinch for a turn, but then a Draining Kiss is able to take him out and then heal us up to full HP. Next to come out is Absol. 1 Draining Kiss later, and down he goes as well. Lastly is this stupid Cacturn, who, you guessed it, also goes down to a single Draining Kiss. Next up on the chopping block is Phoebe and her ghost types. Which, I have a question. If you people saw this dress, would you automatically assume she's a ghost type specialist? Anyways, let's start the battle. She leads with Dusclops while I lead with Goku once again. I feel like at this point you guys probably get the whole deal. Goku Mega Evolves and lands a Shadow Ball to one-shot Dusclops. Next is Bayonet, who also goes down to another Shadow Ball. Then it's Phoebe's second Bayonet, who also goes down to another Shadow Ball. Then it's Phoebe's Sableye, who won't go down to a single Shadow Ball, but will go down to a single Draining Kiss. Lastly is Dusknoir, and as I'm sure you can assume, she also goes down to a single Shadow Ball. And that's the end of Phoebe. Next up is Glacia and her Ice types. 1 Mega Evolution later, and Glalie goes down to a single Psychic. Next up is Frostlass, and Glacia must have not been watching what I did to Phoebe, so as you would imagine, a single Shadow Ball takes down Frostlass. And out comes her second Frostlass, who meets the same exact fate, another Shadow Ball to take her down. Next is Walrein, who actually survives a Psychic, but then misses a Blizzard and goes down the next turn to another Psychic. Next is another Glalie, who, just like before, goes down to a single Psychic. And that's Glacia. And as I walk to Drake, I'm sure you guys have realized the point I'm trying to make with Mega Evolution. This stuff is broken, and as much as I love seeing it in future games, it just simply trivializes these games. But anyways, let's begin the battle with Drake. He leads with Altaria while I lead with Goku once again. And I'm sure you know the deal. Mega Evolution into Draining Kiss, and down goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. But now it's time for the real battle, the battle that Gardevoir cannot just win instantly by Mega Evolving. It's time to battle the Hoenn League champion and secret lover, Steven. He leads with Skarmory, while I lead with Tien this time. A Charge Beam brings him down to about a third, and also gives a special attack boost. Skarmory just goes for a Toxic, and Synchronize doesn't work. A second Charge Beam takes down Skarmory, and we don't get the special attack raise. Next is Armaldo, and because of the special attack raise, he goes down in a single Psychic. Next is Aggron, so I switch out to Chaozu on an incoming Stone Edge, and hit a 4-time super effective Earth Power to bring Aggron down to a sturdy. Aggron just misses the Iron Tail, and next turn he heals. But another Earth Power brings him back down to 1 HP. One more heal, and then another Earth Power brings him back down again to 1 HP. Finally, Steven is out of heals, and Aggron goes down to another Earth Power. Next to come out is Cradily. Cradily takes a little bit of damage from Extrasensory, and then lands a Confuse Ray. But with a held Person Berry, Claydol is able to snap out instantly. Chaozu then lands a weak Shadow Ball, while Cradily just goes for another Confuse Ray. Chaozu breaks through to land another Extrasensory, while Cradily just lands a Giga Drain to heal back a bit of HP. Next turn, an Extrasensory removes the HP that it healed, while a Giga Drain just knocks out Chaozu. Rest in peace, you will be missed. Next I send out Vegeta, who lands a low sweep and is able to take down Cradily. Next comes out Claydol, and so I swap out to Goku, who traces the Levitate from Claydol and dodges the Earth Power. Goku Mega Evolves and launches a strong Shadow Ball that unfortunately doesn't take down Claydol in 1 hit. Claydol then sets up a light screen, and so I decide to swap out to try and stall. I go out to Krillin, who also avoids an Earth Power due to Levitate, and then Krillin goes for Stone Edge, which misses of course, and Claydol just goes for a weak Extrasensory. The miss was kind of favorable though. Next turn Krillin actually lands a Stone Edge, taking down Claydol. Lastly comes out Steven's Metagross. It Mega Evolves right away, and lands this critical hit Meteor Mash to take down Krillin. Rest in peace, my goat. Next I send out Popo, who gets blown up by Giga Impact. Next I send in Goku, who can get a free Shadow Ball due to a recharge turn. Next turn Metagross doesn't click Bullet Punch, and Goku is able to outspeed and kill Metagross with one final Shadow Ball to win us the run. This was an absolutely horribly played final champion fight. But if I were being honest, I was intentionally trying to beat it without a plan because brute forcing with megas just seemed more fun in my opinion. Megas are obviously super cool, but in my opinion they're a little over centralizing and kind of ruin the fun in both casual and competitive play. But it's still fun regardless, and honestly, I don't think the casual part is bad, but it doesn't really matter that much anyways. And so, as we celebrate that I finally beat the run, I shall leave you with one final message. Dynamax is low-key better.